Cindy Reitz, CINDYREITZ, and I'm one of the managers at the Gerst House. Well, the Gerst House had sat empty for a couple of years. It was originally the Helton Velker hardware store, and one of our owners, who is originally from Nashville, Tennessee, and had the original Gerst House, wanted to revamp this building because he'd always loved the building. He wanted to make it something, and the opportunity arose whenever the Gerst House in Nashville had to be torn down because of the Titan Stadium. So he decided then to actually put the Gerst House Evansville in the place of the Helton Velker hardware store building. Well, actually, it took a couple of years to get everything up and running. He tried to do original work using parts, wood, doors, things that was already here to incorporate into the restaurant area, which is the main floor here. We have 4 floors. So the other 2 floors actually have things stripped off the walls. Things are missing upstairs because he put them down here. He then brought in a lot of the booths, some of the equipment, the tables and chairs from the original Gerst House because it kind of fit in the time frame that he was looking for. We had to, of course, put in a lot of plumbing, a lot of electrical, restrooms, and of course put a whole kitchen in where there wasn't a kitchen before. Well, as far as the look of it, it wasn't too difficult because our owners, both Chandlers, do like the old look, so they actually go for original looking items, and the feel of the building, he wants it to be original and old, and kind of makes it difficult for us because some things are better new, but it doesn't work out so well. But he has carpenters and painters that kind of know his style, and just wanted to make sure that everything was so that it looked like it's always been here, when actually the Gerst House has only been in business as a Gerst House for 15 years. It looks like it's been here a lot longer than that. Well, the owners of the Gerst House also own Sportsman's Grill and Billiards down at St. Joe and Franklin, and that's been in business for over 32 years. Whenever they put in the Gerst House here at the Helton Velker hardware store building, it was just one of the newer places and one of the few places that you could get a drink and get a sandwich and have dining experience on Franklin Street. There wasn't a whole lot to offer. Mostly small mom and pop shops. And then with the Gerst House then eventually came Smitty's, and a lot of other businesses have then come along because this is kind of like what Main Street used to be. Franklin Street's now become what that was because there are a lot of mom and pop shops. It's almost and totally locally family-owned businesses, and just having the Gerst House here and having the business that we've had over the years brings a lot of people down to Franklin Street. Oh, it's a much more lively place because there's more things to do. You can park your car, and you can go to any of a number of restaurants and bars on Franklin Street, as well as pick up a shirt for your dad, a pair of shoes for mom. The new businesses along the street include a winery, a wine tasting room, the Time in the Kitchen, which is a great asset to Franklin Street, brings a lot of people down who are interested in cooking classes, things like that. So it's kind of a one-stop shop where you can just park your car and go to different places on Franklin Street, and this is one of them. Well, no, the first bar that you see that's closest to Franklin Street actually came from the Sterling Brewery Raskeller, and that was down in the basement, so they bought that. They were building up pieces in the couple of years since they purchased the building before they actually put it all together. So they bought the Raskeller bar itself. The bar that sits right behind me here actually came from the Fortune Teller Bar in St. Louis, Missouri. The tables and chairs in the dining room, a lot of them came from the original Gerst House, and some of the other tables and things that you see here came from various locations around Evansville that were old. Like, for example, the Strauss building that was downtown. We have a couple of their display cases. The brick outside on the patio area came from the Sterling Brewery after it was torn down. So there's a lot of history from Evansville also here in this building. That's on my cheat sheet. It was built in 1890, and it was a Rosenberger building, and it was actually a grocery store. And then it became a hardware store and farm implement store. And a lot of people still come in and say they remember when it was the Helton Velcro hardware store because they came in with their grandpa or their dad or something like that. And they remember that the guys who were in here knew where everything was. And you could find anything that you wanted here in the building. And then when the Velkers decided to sell the building, that's whenever we took it over as far as buying the building and kind of preparing it to make it a restaurant. Well, this is an old West Side German area, and this is just typical of West Side German architecture. And Evansville has been known to just get rid of too many of their historical buildings in the name of progress, and that just doesn't sit well with the people that are on the West Side, nor our owners who like to keep things preserved if they can. And they could have torn down the building and built a new one, but it just wouldn't be the same. The character's just not there. Oh, it's everything about the Gerst Haus, because they have rebuilt the Gerst Haus in Nashville, and people tend to say that it's not anything like this one. It doesn't have the old feel. And when people come in, the first thing they do is start looking around, and they notice little things that they used to see in buildings that they don't see anymore. Well, like the pillars, we have the iron pillars that are standing up there. We have the wooden floors. We have the tin ceilings. Things like that you just don't see anymore. A lot of people are intrigued when they come in and they see like our little, what's the name of that? Register. The old heat registers. Those are actually something that was brought down from upstairs. They don't work, but they look like they belong here. And a lot of times people will touch them thinking that they're hot in the wintertime, and they're not. They're just here for looks. But people don't always see things like that, and most young people don't even know what it is. It's a grand old dame, I'll tell you that. And like I said, there's 4 stories. People do say that there's a ghost in the building. His name is Wilbur. And I've not seen him, but we've had a lot of our staff say that there's actually a ghost here. And it might be somebody that's related to the Gray Lady. I'm not sure, but I've not seen a ghost, but that's kind of like one of the tales that we have around here.